This week in Gator Sport, San Francisco State inducted 6 athletes into the Hall of Fame. Our very own Chris Fairjohn goes one-on-one with Lady Gators basketball coach Joaquin Wallace. CSR was also there as CCSF pays tribute to their fallen leader. And in Houston, the NBA All-Stars take center stage as the West takes on the East. All that and more right now on College Sports Report.
Well, that was great.
That was just amazing. Welcome to this 30-minute edition of College Information Television that we call College Sports Report. I am Tim Livingston alongside my tag team partner Kevin Liu.
We have a lot to cover today, including one of the most unusual basketball shots you've ever seen.
But first, a few Gators become immortalized. It was a historic event recently at San Francisco State when 6 former Gator standouts were enshrined into the Hall of Fame, and CSR was there to cover the ceremony.
1975, the top SFSU athletes have been invited into the Athletic Hall of Fame. The hall is located in the campus main gymnasium, and every year a selection committee chooses inductees from submitted nominations. This year, the ceremony was held at the Seven Hills Conference Center, directly across from Mary Park Hall. Let's find out how our inductees felt about joining the Hall of Fame.
I guess you could say overwhelmed.
I was really in awe. You know, I had to read it twice.
I was really surprised and really elated.
It was great. It was a great feeling.
Awesome. I mean, very, very humbling experience.
Do you have any one moment in your athletic career that stands out for you?
Not really. You know, as time goes on, and the memories of individual games, they kind of diminish in your head. But the people, that's what's important. And the people, it's almost like it was yesterday. I remember the coaches and the players and everybody that I had the honor to be around. That's very clear. But the games themselves, no, it's more about the people to me now.
One particular match, a guy from San Jose, and San Jose at that time, they were a scholarship school. And when I was wrestling, we were a non-scholarship school. So to me, that was kind of a feather in my cap to beat a guy. I won the match against a guy. It was a tough match. It was just by several points, but I managed to beat him. And so that felt good doing that. It was an accomplishment for me personally.
I learned a lot about leadership, about teamwork. I learned a lot about dedication and setting personal goals and working really hard to achieve them. The highlight for me was the track and field league. I ran the 5K in my junior year and I won the conference championship, and it was just a real turning point in my career as a runner.
Making the finals of the All-Cal tournament as a freshman, and I was seeded against the first seed. I was put against the first seed because I was like the worst seed. And so I beat the #1 guy the first match in the morning. I got that over with, and then I continued on to beat people that I lost to all year. And so it was a good tournament.
I know you broke a lot of school records while you were here. Is there any one that stands out for you?
Well, you know, it's always cool to get the 2,000 point barrier. I mean, I ended up with a little more than 2,000, but it's such a...
And there it is! Lawrence Williams, number 54. The big man in the middle, he's going to hold on to that ball.
You know, not so many basketball players are blessed enough to reach that milestone. So just the nice round number of getting 2,000 was really special to me. I mean, very, very humbling experience. Very humbling. That someone would, you know, think that you were one of the best and to, you know, bring you into a fraternity of other people that were considered the best.
The 6th member of this year's inductees was Paul Rendell, the head men's basketball coach from 1958 to 1970. In 1969, Paul led the team to the NCAA Division II Elite 8 Championship. Mr. Rendell died last year, but he will always be remembered here at SFSU.
The newly enshrined Hall of Famers were very grateful for their experiences there at State. Congratulations to all 6 of them.
Monterey came into town to take on a struggling 0-3 SF State baseball team. The Gators hoped this doubleheader wouldn't be a double dreader. Going for the first W of the season, the Gators hoped to get out to a good start, but that was not the case. Here the Otters' Brandon Curry strikes out Philip Gerard looking. Struggles continues as David Phillips flies out to right field and Aaron Garcia grounds out to short. The Otters brought plenty of offense as well. Troy Sanchez hits a rare 3-run single as a part of a 4-run 9th inning. There was a little to cheer about if you were a Gators fan, as David Phillips smokes one up the middle for an RBI single. But that was about it, because Ray Nunez strikes out Michael Solis to end the game. Otters win 11-3. The sun was still out for Game 2, and the Otters must have been feeling good. But that same sun caused a problem. Justin Rios can't find it as DJ Stacy ends up with a triple. Stacy would later score on a wild pitch, and the Gators led 1-0. But the Otters went on a scoring binge. Bud Glock rips Kyle Phipps' pitch over the left field wall for the solo shot. Two batters later, Justin Rios does the same thing as he hammers the ball over the left field wall, putting Monterey up 2-1. In the third, Alex Swartz hits an RBI single up the middle, adding to the Monterey lead. To cap things off, Ross Hoffman hits a chopper up the middle, scoring 2 Otters. Monterey sweeps a doubleheader as they win 10-9. The Gators did get their retribution, however, as 2 days later these teams met again in another doubleheader, and the Gators did end up getting their first 2 wins of the season.
The Lady Gator softball team is off to a great start this year as they try to return to the Division II softball tournament, where they made the Grade 8 last year. They hosted Notre Dame de Namur in a doubleheader recently. The Lady Gators host that other Notre Dame University, Sonia Garnett, and the rest of the Gators looking to sweep the doubleheader at hand. It's the second inning with the Gators up 1-0, and Nicole Hartfield will knock one right back up the middle and score Vanessa Rodriguez, who hustles all the way around from second to score her second run of the game, 2-0 Gators. Garnett was in her usual spectacular form, striking out Anna Garza, one of her 4 strikeouts on the day. However, Garza will get her revenge on the 5th as she hits one past both Garnett and Rodriguez, scoring Nicole Stevens to cut the Gator lead to 2-1. But that would be about as close as Notre Dame would get, as Garnett would be on fire the rest of the way. Garnett would not allow another runner after Garza's single and would lead the Gators to the 2-1 win in Game 1 of the doubleheader. The Gators would also end up winning the second game 3-1. The Gators are now 11-3 overall after losing to 12th-ranked Emporia State 1-0 in the Division II Kickoff Classic. Garnett was named CCAA Player of the Week, going 4-1 in the tourney, with their only blemish being the loss in the title game.
Well, it's time for a quick break. CSR will be right back in 90 seconds.
Hey, man. Want a taste of something make you feel good?
Leave me alone.
Try it out. You don't know what you're missing. A little crack won't hurt you.
It'll make me a crackhead.
Won't cost you nothing. This one's on me. Absolutely free.
I said no, man.
Good job, son. That's just what you do if that ever happens.
Okay, Dad.
Deal with your kids. Tell them the truth about drugs. It could be the most important role you ever play.
Like how you handled yourself.
And welcome back to the show as we get set to take you to the hardwood for some local basketball action.
And we'll start off with the Lady Dons. The Lady Dons entered their game with the University of San Diego Toreros riding a 6-game losing streak. In fact, their last loss came at their hands of these same Toreros during the first game of a home-and-home series. At War Memorial Gymnasium, the Dons had the chance to tie the Toreros for 6th place in the WCC, but it wasn't going to be easy. USC's Ashley Voisinette drives the lane and gets swatted by Nikki at Peace. The ball eventually ends up in Ashley Katsuyama's hands for the easy layup. Katsuyama finished up with 13 points and 3 assists. Later in the first half, USC's Kelly Winter drives to the hoop and botches a layup, but gets her own rebound and drops in 2 of her game-high 15 points. The Toreros headed to the locker room up by 9. In the second half, the Lady Dons made a strong comeback, capped by LaShante Stevens' layup off the inbounds pass to put the Dons up by 1. Last chance for USC as Sierra Harris airballs fadeaway. Dons wins this thriller 59-56.
The Lady Gators had won 3 of their last 4 conference matchups going into their recent home game against Cal State Los Angeles. So let's go to the main gymnasium at SF State. The Gators get pumped for their game with the Golden Eagles. And here SF State's Bobby Walden nails a jumper for 2 of her 8 points. And then LA's Monica Takoro hits a jumper of her own. She and Tiffany Maddox led the Golden Eagles with 18 points. The Eagles would be up 2. But Leslie Miller gives the Gators the lead with the 3 ball. So Gators go up 15-14. Later, LA's Amber Todd gives the lead right back to the Eagles with that 3 to make it 26-24 LA. San Francisco State's Farron Lewis would have a game. 24 points to lead the Gators. She got 2 on that layup. Gators up 3 at halftime. Second half now, Takoro dishes off to Brittany Anderson for that bucket. Eagles up 4, 47-43. Lewis would come back for the Gators, though, as she hit this shot to put the Gators down only 3 with 30 seconds remaining. But Takoro would seal the deal with that jumper, and the Golden Eagles will go on to win 71-64. The Lady Gator Round Ballers also lost to CSU Bakersfield 82-62 the next day, dropping their record to 8-15 overall and 3-13 in conference play. They played Chico and Stanislaus in their last 2 home games this weekend.
Joaquin Wallace is in his first year as women's basketball head coach at San Francisco State. From 2003 through 2005, he amassed a 36-20 record with a top 10 ranking in 2005. This year's Gators are 8-15, but they are looking to finish strong. Coach Wallace took some time to sit down with CSR's Chris Fairjohn earlier in the week.
Thanks a lot for joining us, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Start by telling me a little bit about how you got into coaching basketball and women's basketball.
Well, you know, my daughter got me into it. I started coaching when she was in the 6th grade in the CYO. And I used to go watch her play as a 5th grader, and I wasn't happy on what was going on as a parent watching my daughter play. So I said, you know, how about if I got into coaching? So I went to the administration, asked if I get involved the next year, which was our 6th grade year, and the rest is history. Once I started in 6th grade, I coached her 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, jumped into high school 9th, 10th, varsity 11th, and now I'm here coaching at the college level.
Your last couple of years you came from coaching high school in Albany and in St. Mary's, and your Albany team was, I believe, 22-5. So you're coming into a team that had a little bit of a tougher year. Can you talk about what that's been like for you to come from, you know, I mean, obviously a high school program to a college program, but also a program that was, you know, doing very well under you to a program that in the first year has struggled a little bit?
This is the first year that I've ever been coaching. I have not made it into any type of playoff environment. So it was a big adjustment to me not to win games, but then I had to look at it from a realist standpoint. A lot of my friends keep me motivated because I expect to win all the time. And my thing is, go in, you do the best you can, and at the end of the day, you know, you've won these games. This was not something I'm used to doing. So I had to understand that this is college, and it's a bigger level. These kids are a lot better. The coaches are much more prepared than they are in the high school level. And understanding that some coaches don't win in their first year. Some coaches win 2 or 3 games in their first year. So I had to look at the positive side of it. We won a first-year tournament for the first time, I think, over 20 years. I think this year we may have 3 to 4 players make all-conference. I think that this year we may be able to get to 10 wins, which is most coaches in their first year. And I never had any college experience. I had to learn the college game. I had to learn that the game is much more faster, more physical. But the biggest adjustment coming from high school to college is the length and time of the game. You're talking about 32 minutes to 40 minutes. And that was a big adjustment because as a coach, you have to be mentally ready to go for 2 hours every night versus high school, hour and a half, if that. And when you get to the 32-minute mark, the game is over. But the college level, at the 32-minute mark, you have 8 more minutes left to play. And so I had to really get acclimated to that. And these coaches can coach up here. I mean, they really know what they're doing up here, and the players can make shots. And that's the difference between high school and college. I had to get acclimated to that. But I think for our first year, for my first year, I think I've done a good job to win 8 games when some people thought we wouldn't win but 1.
I will say thanks a lot for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
And we'll catch up with you later, maybe.
Hope so. Go Gators.
Go Gators.
The Lady Gators play their final 2 home games of the year against Chico State and Cal State Stanislaus. this weekend, February 24th and 25th. And they finished their season on the road the following weekend against UC San Diego and Cal State San Bernardino.
The Dons had the second half of a home-and-home against the Toreros of USD. They lost at the Jenny Craig Gymnasium 71-68.
Did they lose any weight?
They might have. I don't know. So they looked for revenge back at home. The Dons break the huddle to try and have the home-and-home with USD. The Toreros came in at 6-4 in WCC play. Armando Surratt would get the alley from Jerome Gooms and finish off the oop for 2 of his 13 points. The Dons led by 2 at the half. Here, Allen Wiggins Jr. with the reverse layup for 2 of his game-high 25 points. And then he would also dish it off right there to Jason Wallace-Carter, who had 14 points of his own. Wiggins is not done yet. With this nice move and the layup, he's on his way to his 4th straight double-double. Then Wallace-Carter would do the same, and the big man dominance goes to the Dons. Then watch this shot. Jerome Gums falls on his backside and is still able to throw it up and in. Unbelievable. USD coach Brad Holland wants a traveling call. Instead, he gets shown the gate. The Dons win 87-61. That's just incredible right there. Oh, man.
The SF State basketball program has fallen on tough times this season as they enter their game with Cal State LA with an 0-20 record. At Main Gymnasium, the Gators were looking for their first win of the year against the Golden Eagles. The Gators got off to a hot start as Oscar Edwards cleans up the garbage and drops it in off the glass. A few moments later, Daniel McClain finds himself wide open in the corner and swishes three-pointer. Now more Oscar Edwards. He drives right and drops in 2 of his Gator high 15 points. Coach Bill Tresser likes what he sees, but not for long. LA's Robert Ray Niga stops Pops and drops the tray, putting the Golden Eagles up by 7. Right before the half, Marcus Hamilton makes a steal and pushes it up to Gene Myvet for the easy layup. LA goes in at the break by 11. In the second half, Jonte Vincent gets the bucket and the body. To cap things off, Micah Hamilton blocks Ian Swift's shot, and Joseph Lewis finishes it up with a layup. Golden Eagles roll 67-56.
The City College Rams basketball team had their conference locked up, but had one more warm-up game before the postseason as they took on Skyline College. The Rams are already on their way to a conference title and took on shorthanded Skyline, who only had 7 players. City College started fast as Eric Turner nails this three-pointer from the corner to give the Rams the early advantage. Skyline would battle back as Sam Wilhoit would nail a three-pointer of his own, and look at that hair. It's all curly and in a ball and looking nice. Oh, yeah, except without the curls. Mo Purify, the football star for the Rams, can also play little hoops. Before he heads to Nebraska on a scholarship, he let that dunk on the breakaway to put the Rams up 12. Marshall Lassiter would have fun here with Dave McSwain on this alley-oop. The Rams got out to a 20-point lead in the first half and just would not look back. Skyline's Jeremy Francis would try to lay this up, but Lassiter says no dice and swats it away. He wouldn't be the only one invited to the block party, though, as Francis would try again and get blocked by Chris Payne. CCSF wins 81-66.
Well, it's time for some more of your favorite PSAs. Stay tuned. CSR will be right back.
My name's Penny. I think people shouldn't do drugs. They can make you forget things, like which animals have stripes. And your body might get clumsier, so you can't jump rope as good. Drugs can get you in big trouble. You could go to principal's office or go to jail. Then you can't watch TV or eat pizza. Recess is good. Hamsters are good. Birthday parties are real good. Drugs are bad. I wouldn't do drugs.
Welcome back to CSR as we come down the stretch to finish strong.
We've got our Point Counterpoint segment coming up, but first, a touching subject for college basketball.
Over the winter break, the CCSF Rams lost teammate and friend Terrell Anderson. CSR would like to take this time to pay tribute to him.
That having Terrell's jersey forever hanged in the City College gym will continue to provide inspiration to future players and coaches. And Terrell's name and legacy will live on in this gym where he and his family have contributed so much.
Gentlemen, you know what we gotta do, so let's do this.
City College of San Francisco men's basketball team accomplished the goal every team strives for, to win. But the Rams' 2005-2006 winning season will always be accompanied with the loss of teammate and friend, Terrell Anderson. During the early morning hours of December 26, Terrell was shot and killed in front of a San Francisco nightclub. Terrell has been described as having an infectious personality, as a prankster and a leader. But to those who knew him best, he was Terrell, a loving and caring son.
His last night, Christmas night, moments before he was killed, he prepared to go out. He was halfway dressed. We danced, just him and I. So that is the most, one of my last moments with him.
We had a speech class together. So he goes up there. He wasn't prepared at all. Gave the speech. Speech was over. Teacher gave him the paper, gave him his grade back. He got an A. He thought so quick about everything.
Terrell's passion and dedication for his family and friends transferred on to the basketball court. In the 16 games Terrell played in this season, he averaged 11 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 assists per game. His hard work and perseverance on the court led to his coaches and teammates to refer to him as their leader.
He was a dominating player on the court, just personality-wise. He was vocal, he was a team leader. He did it by actions and by being vocal on the floor. Now you don't see it as much, but just played every time he came on the floor with such passion.
Back in November, Terrell signed a letter of intent to play basketball for the University of San Francisco.
So USF was going to sign him for a one-year scholarship, but it just kind of shows you what kind of player this guy was. I mean, he was supposed to come in and have a direct impact for 1 year.
After playing his last year of eligibility at USF, Terrell dreamed of being drafted into the NBA and playing for the Golden State Warriors. On February 17th, the Rams retired Terrell's jersey. It now hangs in the City College South Gym, where it will forever be an inspiration.
So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Anderson leaves behind a 2-year-old daughter. The Rams have dedicated their season to him and hope to attain the one goal that Anderson wanted most of all, a state championship. Terrell Anderson was 23 years old.
Japan's national soccer team came to San Francisco to take on the U.S. national team. This would be the first for both squads to prepare for the World Cup, but there was a bigger story behind it.
For the first time in 17 years, San Francisco played host to the United States men's national soccer team. They squared off against Japan in an international friendly as both teams prepared for World Cup 2006 in Germany. Unfortunately, as a low-budget college sports program, we weren't granted clearance to shoot the game. So as any budget-savvy college student would do, we hit up a local pub to catch some of the action. Fans were excited about seeing the match at a pub, but some, like Carlos McCormick, would have rather been at SBC.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's awesome. I wish I was really there, though. Like I said, if I knew it was in town tonight, before 20 minutes before the kickoff, I would be there right now. No question.
Though some were not interested in the game, others, like St. Louis native Julie Lang, found reason to watch when she recognized an old friend and U.S. national team forward, Taylor Twellman.
It makes me a little bit more interested in it, I'd say that much, considering I know someone that's on the team.
Others at the pub, like SBC Park season ticket holder Amy Swanson, were oblivious to the game and were upset that more wasn't being done to promote the match.
Since I've been buying tickets at Pac-Bell Park since it's open, I think they could have sent numerous emails. They could have maybe put it on maybe sides of buses since it's USA. I mean, show a little, pride for your countrymen when they're out there playing against other countries.
However, the night ended on a good note as the United States defeated Japan 3-2. And fans hope that it will not be another 17 years before San Francisco hosts another U.S. men's national team game. For CSR, I'm Ivan Basquil.
The U.S. later took on Guatemala and beat them 4-0. Next up for the U.S. is Poland on March 3rd, 2006.
The 2006 NBA All-Star Game took place in Houston, Texas, and some CSR staffers were actually at the game live to take in the weekend festivities, including tiny Nate Robinson defying gravity.
This is basketball's ultimate stage where the league's best put on an amazing display. Only a select few can make it right here to this arena, and tonight you're going to see exactly what got them here. Get ready to meet the NBA's shining stars from the East and the West. The head coach for the East from the Detroit Pistons, Flint Saunders. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2006 NBA Eastern Conference All-Stars. The head coach representing the Dallas Mavericks for the first time as an NBA All-Star coach, Avery Johnson. The Western Conference NBA All-Stars.
I know you like the dancing. 2006 All-Star Game saw a lot of dunks, like the Rockets' Tracy McGrady slamming it home from his home crowd in Houston. And then here, you'll see that Sean Marion can throw down as well. He would be the only college graduate in these highlights. Of course, the two big stars of the game were non-college graduates for the East. It was LeBron James with this putback here. He finished with 29 points and became the youngest MVP in All-Star Game history at 21 years and 51 days with shots like that right there. For the West, it was that dude Kobe Bryant, who you might know. He can do some spectacular things like that dunk, and then that move which saw him go between his legs and two defenders to tie the game 120. The East would win on a Dwayne Wade shot, though, and Vince Carter tried the exclamation point, but couldn't put it home. Shaq celebrates the 122-120 win. Next year, the NBA will go into uncharted territory as the 2007 NBA All-Star Game will take place in the city that never sleeps, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Now, it's no doubt that Ivan could take Ryan out in a fight, but who knows more about sports? Let's find out. It's point counterpoint time once again. Take it away, fellas.
Welcome to another edition of Point Counterpoint. I'm Ryan Donk in the blue corner, Ivan Basquil in the red. We're going to get right to it today, point counterpoint Olympic style. Our Olympians have been in Torino. We haven't been doing that well as the U.S. as a whole, but we have had some good performances. What would you say is the best gold medal performance we've seen so far?
Well, I would know something about gold medal performances because I am on a podium right now.
He is.
Seriously, I'm on a podium.
He looks
but it's
taller,
got to
but
be
it's 1 foot
Shawnee
podium.
Davis. Shawnee Davis, first African American to ever win an individual gold medal. You can't. That's history. You can't define history.
History is great. I love it. But we're talking about domination here, and that's what Shaun White did. Shaun White dominates his sport over and over again. His qualifying matches.
Like a carrot.
I don't care. He's dominating.
Carrot.
Dominating. 5.3 points ahead of the second place one.
Somebody makes history.
History
and you're
is great.
telling
I love it. I love it. But we're talking about the best.
The only African American is not a better gold medal. Are you kidding me? Get real. Where's Shawnee?
Shaun White
Somebody call
dominated.
Shawnee. Hey,
Shawnee did not dominate. Shaun White
dominated.
You're ridiculous.
Tell Shawnee that.
Shawnee,
909.
Oh, Shawnee,
909.
you're great.
Hold on, I got
Way
it.
to break the record
909.
for being the first black person to be in the Olympics to win a gold medal. Wonderful.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Great, great, great. Shaun White dominated. All right, we're going to go. Best sport in the Winter Olympics on ice. What do you think?
It's got to be curling. Curling is the best sport on ice.
Curling.
It's the best show on ice.
You would say curling.
It is.
You're ridiculous.
Best show on ice. How can you beat two bomb blondes who are going to be in the next Coors Light commercial?
Yeah, and what are they
twins?
doing? What are they doing? They're not doing anything.
And they have brooms.
Brooms. We're
Who
talking
comes up
about
with sport with
short
brooms?
track speed skating.
The creativity of this sport blows my mind.
The creativity? Some guy is swishing a broom and the other guy is holding his pose. That's ridiculous.
What do you mean it's
You're
ridiculous?
just saying it because...
How is that ridiculous?
Yeah, you're ridiculous. Two hot girls doesn't make a sport great. What makes a sport great is it's intense, all the time. You never know what's going to happen.
Greatness?
Short track speed skating.
Entertainment, best show
The
on
U.S.
ice.
The
It's
U.S.
a
will
show.
never win a
It's
medal
not-
in curling.
Hey,
We
it's
will win in
entertainment.
speed
I'm
skating.
entertained.
We will win in
A lot of
speed
other
skating.
guys
There's
are
always a
entertained.
chance.
Even girls are entertained by this.
No one is. No one even know. Name one person on the curling team.
Hey,
one
you know
person.
what? This is all I
Name
know.
one person.
Minnesota.
Name one person.
Montana.
Oh no.
All those
speed
their
skating.
backyards are
oh,
gonna
no.
have ice in it.
Oh no. Name one person. That's all.
Sunday afternoon curling.
Who
What
knows
do you
about
think?
curling?
Sunday afternoon
Name
curling.
one person.
Love it.
Name one person.
Love
Anyways, point counterpoint. I'm Ryan Dunk. I can't believe this guy. Yeah. Fist fight. I'll beat him. Kevin, I'll beat him. Back to you guys.
Thanks, guys. You know, Dunk is getting better every week.
Yeah.
But I think Ivan would still beat him in a fist fight.
Well, Ivan's scrappy, and Dunk has to watch out for that.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, just
He gets in there.
He can get you. He gets slow.
Yeah.
It's all over from there. One more note before we leave you here on College Sports Report. You can see much more information on our program on the web at the information conglomerate known as MySpace. Yep, MySpace. You can find information about the show, give feedback, talk with the show's staff, and watch some of the shows right on the site with our first episode of the season currently up on the main page. You can also email us at mailcsr@gmail.com, and you can find the webpage at www.myspace.com/CSRSFSU.
Well, that's our show for today. Be sure to tune in next week, same time, same channel. For my partner, Tim Livingston, I'm Kevin Liu. You've been watching the College Sports Report.
See you next time.